Hey guys, it's Otti and I'm here at the Masters of Rock Festival in the Czech Republic. Besides me, Perttu from the band Apocalyptica. Hi, first of all.
Hello, lovely being here.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We were playing here tonight, we'll come to this later on. Apocalyptica, probably most people outside know you because you're not the smallest band. But maybe for someone who never heard of you, who kicks in, how would you describe Apocalyptica to a stranger?
We are a band who plays cellos. That's probably the most prominent thing. We started actually all our youth. We were classical students, but while studying, we fell in love with the rock music, especially Metallica and Slayer, bands like that. We started to play those songs with our instruments, cellos. Then, on like 30 years later, we are tonight here, Masters of Rock, traveling around the world, meeting amazing audiences all over. So it's incredible, of course, that our kind of crazy different type of a vision led to this, because we did not expect it. For us it was just fun, a lot of beer and youngsters playing music that we loved. But it's a very nostalgic and cool thing to be here. Now tonight also we are performing our place Metallica concept, so we are going back to the Metallica original songs which we have arranged, renewed and made another album last year. And for us it's a really cool fun to because I all the time feel that we dive back to the very origins of our band, which was the love for Metallica's music. So we can shake the hands of our young teenage selves, but luckily 30 years later we are maybe a little bit more experienced. I wouldn't say that maybe wiser, but at least more experienced and know more about how cello works, and that is the reason why, for example, the Plays Metallica Volume 2 album last year, it sounds like current Apocalyptica, but still has the spirit of this wild origins of the feeling. Yes.
So this Plays Metallica, I think this is how you started. The name comes from it, Apocalyptica. But how do you remember your first time when you were young, having a cello in your hand?
I was about 5 years old, and for me, cello felt very natural choice. I was asking my parents that what do I need to do that I can go on the stage to perform music. I fell in love for the music very young. So, and my father also used to be a cellist. Now he's retired, but so it was a natural choice for me.
And when you mentioned you have had a deep love for Metallica, probably for other metal bands as well, but Metallica was the biggest one for you back then?
Yeah, in the high school and stuff, of course, everybody was like going crazy for Metallica during the release of the Black Album and all of that. And for me, the first album that I got into was actually Justice for All. And I just remember after all, the earlier bands that I loved back then were like Skid Row or Judas Priest, stuff like that. But Metallica, when the Blackened song starts, and that sounded so different to anything else. I remember still that moment when I first time heard it, and it became a thing. I had like, not with these guys, but with the friends in high school, we already started to cause mayhem. And whenever we had music classes and the teacher tried to teach whatever they tried, we went to grab the instruments and banging, seek and destroy, loud. Eventually leading even that they had to release us from the music classes, that those boys, they just can't behave, and I was jumping on top of the tables with the guitar and trying to imitate that feel. And I think it's fascinating because now the greatest thing what happened was that they allowed me to go to a band basement with the instruments. So instead of sitting in a classroom studying all the things that I found boring, we actually were able to play loud and jam all of the time. And I would say that my rock base was created in there. And then eventually forming up this group with the other fellow cellists, it became a profession, and it's a very fascinating thing where I always just actually want to kind of reach out to that feeling of me who was a little bit restless and could not always behave and stuff, but to encourage people to put that enthusiasm in a work and grab the instrument you can, and or if you don't even can, you can still grab it and make a noise and have a feeling and dream big. It's amazing.
It's totally what punk was all about. the punk movement was about you don't have to be able to play an instrument, but do it, just do what you like. And this is somehow how we are punks of metal, you can say, because you made something different than every other band and every other people. And but meeting people who all played cello, was it like you have been looking for them, or was it like that you have been friends from the beginning and it was an occasion that you have been playing?
I have, because in Finland actually the music scene is relatively small country with not too many students, and we were studying in the same academy, music school, so I have basically known Eikka and Paavo since I was like 10 years old. So it was more natural that when teenagers we were hanging together, we were drinking beer, then the idea comes that let's get wasted and go to play metal and Sepultura and Metallica with the cellos. That's how it started in between the friends, yes. And I hope that I would say that even biggest achievement of Apocalyptica at this day is that we survived so long and were able to maintain our friendship.
That's great. And I think you reinvented yourself many times, because Metallica was the beginning, but you have then done lots of other things. We can't talk about everything now because we have only a small time limit. But maybe can you tell me what have been the 3 most important turning points since your first album?
Well, naturally, the third album, Cult, where this band kind of decided, or we transformed to realize that this is a real program, real thing for us. It's not only that we like to play cover songs, but we were thinking that if we want to build up something more long-lasting and to become like a real band, it was natural to dive into composing own music. And then we followed that road since forever. Naturally, very important steps for us always were that we never had an own permanent singer, so we were actually able to invite a hell of a lot of amazing artists to do songs with us, and all of those cooperations, they have been teaching us a lot about different ways that we can explore. And for Apocalyptica, that exploring is actually, I would say that that's the fuel that keeps us going, because we always feel that there is still a couple of more things that we can figure out with these kind of strange instruments. And the wheel of challenging yourself every album is a new step of trying to do things a little bit different or better or whatever it is. Naturally, big change was also to involve drums. Into already on the 4th album we had drums, so we have been evolving, and I'm quite sure that we are still going to do it in the future.
I think so, yeah. You always are reinventing you, but keep yourselves. And now we have been, as you mentioned, going back to your roots. Placement Metallica 2 is out, I think, since last year.
Yes.
So nice I could read, but it's easier to say it like this. What did you learn? You mentioned that you have developed and stuff. So what did you learn during the years to make it this time even better?
Well, one big thing is that when we started, there was basically nobody doing crazy thing like us. So all the time we have been searching for new equipment, new gear. And whenever you take a new guitar amp or a stomp box or whatever, new effect, cello behaves very unpredictable. And in that sense, you always found a step forward. Then we are seeking meeting with a new producer who introduces us maybe to new gear. And that kind of laboratory work leads to basically we aim for better sound and all of that. And also, I would say that naturally on this latest album, even our maybe arranging and composing skills are in a different level than when you started. So of course, the songs became more maybe structurally interesting. We did not want to play just the Metallica tunes as they are. We wanted to feel that there is a strong Apocalyptica flavor, that we have a reason to perform these songs now. And therefore, it was really interesting to sometimes blend a couple of songs together or have little hints that you hear, a little detail of some other song in between sections and orchestral elements, and kind of very, open-mindedly thinking that how can we honor the original masterpieces, but still update it the way that we feel that there is strong Apocalyptica persona also behind.
And which of the new songs has been the most difficult to rearrange in your way?
Probably, at least, the biggest challenge and biggest, most bombastic thing was naturally one, where I actually felt that the interesting approach was to bring in the lyrics of that important song, one of the coolest metal songs of all times, and to represent that with the voice of a narrator. And then building up all the like cinema effects on top of that, an orchestra, big orchestra arrangement. So that took a lot of time. But the cool story about this that we approached Metallica themselves naturally by explaining that we have this feel, we would like to once again dive into their material. We wanted to be sure that they kind of approve, that they can support it. Yeah, actually they said that they always loved what we have been doing and that go for it. And if you need anything, ask. And
Nice.
and then we are explaining that, yeah, we have actually this also the idea that maybe Mats Mikkelsen or somebody with really, really cool voice could speak out the lyrics of one to bring it to up to this day, because the world is equally restless as it always has been. So the message is very important. And James was like, why don't you ask me then? That I would probably like to do something like this. It sounds great. Great idea. And that's eventually how he ended up into the album. And it's mind-blowing for us naturally, as well as Rob offering to play bass. So I think it's an amazing culmination in a way from where we started, where we now are. This is not the end. It's rather just yet another start, because we all the time we seem to achieve things that feeds our creativity and the will to actually still go on and seek for further possibilities.
And I hope you will go on and we'll have another talk, maybe with more time later. For now, what are the next steps, the next plans for Apocalyptica?
Well, I think we have a little bit of an idea already what it could be, but naturally I still cannot really tell about everything, but we will keep on going. That is the most important thing, and we will create something ultimately cool, Apocalyptica, after this tour, but we will still continue playing the Metallica shows for yet at least another year, because it seems to be people want to hear, they want to have the party on the shows. I always loved actually playing Metallica songs because the audience know it, they sing the lyrics, you get that wonderful interaction and yeah, what could be cooler? Playing music you like live in front of the audience.
And meeting your heroes during your music?
Yes, naturally, yes. It was actually really unbelievably cool that James came to see our concert in Denver, in the States. He wanted to come to an Apocalyptica show and was there, and you know, seeing somebody like that going absolutely nuts and singing Master of Puppets, his own song with that audience, you know,
Yeah.
it's a wonderful feeling.
I can imagine. Totally great. So, and for now to come to an end, we have some message, some greetings to our audience.
Oh yes, I wish to see you either tonight here in Ipswich, Masters of Rock, great festival, or in any other shows. Come to join us and we will entertain you for sure. We have fun.
Great. And I'm looking forward to the show tonight. It'll be really great, hopefully. For today, thank you for watching. Next band is starting, so perfect ending. Thanks for the nice talk. And I say bye-bye, cheers, see ya.